Thank you so much for having us here today. And I know a lot of you, I'm meeting you for the very first time, although I've lived in Buncombe County for 20 years. And unfortunately, I see a lot of people who become completely dependent on that and never get out of that, and they lose their sense of pride and self-worth and earning their own living. And that's what I'm very, very passionate about. I worked here for 10 years for WLS for a little while, Clear Channel for 10 years, was an on-air personality. Got a great job where I could take my children to school and be there for them after school. And I finally started my own company, which is a marketing and production company about 5 years ago. And I handle a couple of our biggest accounts here in Western North Carolina. And I built that on trust and on having a sincere passion to help local businesses. And I'm very proud to say that my company is thriving in a recession. I was remarried 10 years ago to five-generation native of Western North Carolina, Doug Merrill, and he's the NRA, National Rifle Association, field representative for all of Western North Carolina. So we've gotten to really explore all of Western North Carolina and promote the shooting safety sports and some good things that the Friends of NRA are doing. I decided to run for county commission. I had thought about it for about 2 years. I work with many families. I do a lot of volunteer work on top of working full-time, having my own company. I have a daughter also with my husband. She's 9. And I've helped raise thousands and thousands of dollars here in Western North Carolina for a lot of children's organizations, Broyhill Children's Home, Make-A-Wish Foundation of WNC. I'm very passionate about helping those who can't help or need help. And I started to see over the years our county go more and more into debt and really change from being community and conservative place to live to becoming, let's move the middle class out because they can't afford, or they can't afford to be here. And I'm out there on the ball fields with families day after day saying we can't afford jobs. We don't have jobs. There's no jobs here. We can't afford to pay our rent, much less an increase in taxes to do new buildings at AV Tech. And over the last couple years, I've heard people say we are not being represented. The families in Buncombe County are not being represented by our local Board of Commissioners. So I decided to do something about it, and I started listening and studying and seeing what was going on, and I decided to take the job as our precinct chair, and voter after voter said the same thing. We need jobs, we need to rein in government spending, and we need to have control of our property. I worked very hard to buy a property all by myself in Fairview, and a little 3-acre property that I raised my boys in before I got married, and I don't feel it's fair for someone to come in and tell me what kind of light I can have because someone downtown can't see the stars. And there's a lot of these ridiculous decisions that are going on that are geared to help special interest groups, the people that are the squeakiest wheel, that are hurting the entire county. People are paying for things that are not benefiting them. And there doesn't seem to be a voice of reason on that commission. And that really got me excited and passionate because I also saw Lisa Baldwin get up there and be the lone wolf and fight for our children and our parents and start looking for some transparency, and I thought, we need someone like that on our Buncombe County Commission. I seem to have a lot of support from the community. Lots of people encouraged me to run. I obviously have no problem being in front of people, so I thought, I'm going to do it. It's a learning experience for me. I am not a politician. I'm a mother. I'm a businesswoman. I care deeply about our county businesses. I think we need a commission that's going to get off the back of our businesses, start cutting some red tape for our businesses, start supporting our businesses so that friends like mine in Fairview don't go down to Hendersonville Road in Hendersonville to open a tanning salon because they can't get what they need in Buncombe County. We need to start supporting our local businesses. We also need to be more friendly to new industry so that we can create those middle-income jobs. We've got so much red tape and so many regulations that new industry, it's too easy for them to go to Greenville or Hendersonville. Why should they come here? And I think that's really going to help our local economy and our residents who are looking for these jobs. And I agree with Mike 100%. I want to expand on that just a little bit before I close. I think that government spending is out of control. It's a runaway train. We do need a voice of reason in there. Just one person to sit on that commission. I've sat in those meetings. Just one person to say, just a minute, let's look at this and let's table it. Let's figure out if we need to make some changes in this ordinance or do away with it completely. We need someone not just to go along with the common thinking and to really represent our county families and our traditional conservative values and be the voice that people are missing. And I hope to be that person. I have no fear of standing up to people. There has not been a Republican woman nominated to our county commission, as you know, many of you know, since the late 60s. And I think it's time that we make that change. And I would appreciate your support and your vote. And you can also visit my website, which is on the flyer that I gave you, for more information about me. And thank you so much for having me.